Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials on any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Yeah, so I was talking about what is Artifactory. So we said, like, we talked about it. What is repository? Artifactory is a repository management tool. So it manages your repository. But what kind of repository? So that part will come back in a little bit. But before that, it manages your package. Okay. So basically, any kind of packages we have, it can manage. So here we have another questions like, what kind of repo, okay, is equal to what kind of package is being stored here. Okay, so for that, the best way we will ask Artifactory itself, Artifactory package support. Okay, so now if you see that here, yeah, so if you see that, you can store the Alpine package, you can store the Bohr package, you can store the cargo package, you can store the chef package, you can store the Cocoa pods, Conan, Conda, Cran, Debian package, Docker images, Git LFS large file system, not repository. The source code is a LFS, different one, and Go registry, Gradle package, Helm package, Maven package, NPM package, NuGet package, OPKG, and P2, PHP Composer package, Puppet package, Python package, RPM package, Ruby, SBT, Vagrant. So yes, so these are the package which is being stored, which can store here in the repo. Okay, so this is all about Artifactory. Now, who's the company who developed this one? So this company, the one who developed the Artifactory, this is from the JFrog. JFrog is a company. If you see that here, jfrog.org, they have a multiple product, out of which one of these are one of the most popular one is Artifactory. So now this tool is written in Java. So now the moment we say it's a Java, then you know that it is a platform independent. That means this tool you can install in Linux as well as Java. Okay, so any platform you can install it. Now they have a multiple releases actually. For this, here we have a one is like OSS release and another one is professional release. Okay, now again, professionals, we have a trial version available, but what is the difference between OSS release and professional release? So let me ask that guy only, OSS versus Pro. Okay, so now if you see this URL, will have a complete comparison. uh, I'm just trying to click, huh? So this URL, you'll have a comparison between OSS and professional, but at a high level, this is a free, and basically it's a paid one. But free, the version which we have is having very minimal support, minimal package support. So if you look at this here, uh, see here, this is a OSS, the one which I'm talking about, the Cursor CE, we call it a community edition OSS. Now you see that few supports are there, primarily here, checkboxes and all. And in the Pro, you see most of it. Pro X also, we have another product which is called JFrog X-Ray, which I'm not teaching you right now. And here we have some more products actually of JFrog. So this is a part of not a, scope for this training. So we are only having JFrog Artifactory. So these are the Artifactory, two versions you have, OSS and Professional. Now, this is the things. Now, next thing is, guys, okay, fine. This is all about the Artifactory. Now, next question is, why do we need it? Why do we need it? Um, that's a question we should understand, that why do we need this tool to keep it. So let's say if you do not have this tool, then you would store package in FTP or share drive. Okay, this is what you've been doing so far, right? You build the packages and you store in the share drive. Now, we used to do all this stuff in a shared drive when we were having maybe max one or two builds in a day. That was okay. Per day you were having this many of builds per day, packages generating maximum two packages in a day, then shared drive is okay. But if you look at this in the world of DevOps, this is the waterfall model I'm talking about, waterfall model. And if you look at in the DevOps here, we have 30 plus packages every day we are generating. So that is a one problem. Now, if you see that in waterfall model, we had only one package. Okay, but here we have a 30 microservices. That means 30 package is to at least 10 times you build. So you see that 300 packages altogether, you store it. I mean, the more you have a microservices, the more packages you store it. So look at this here, hardly we have one package, everything assembled together. Now 300 packages. Now different modules you have. So here the challenges here is like you have to do the package versioning also, right? I'm not talking about the source code versioning, package versioning, like which one is which version of it, automated versioning. So that is one of the problem area which we have. How can you do automated package versioning? On top of that, guys, here one of the major problem nowadays we are having in the DevOps, like we are using too many third party libraries. So the question is, where do we manage these third-party libraries, and which place? And these third-party libraries also we have a versioning. That means some team are using, let's say, Maven 3, some teams are using Maven 3.3, like that. JUnit, this package, that package. So different third-party libraries your team itself are using. So how do you store that? How do you maintain those versionings and third-party libraries storage and all stuff like that? So yes, these are the primary issues you will have when you migrate to waterfall model to DevOps model. Package management is a very huge concern actually. Apart from that, one of the thing is like integration with DevOps tool. Okay, so here you have seen this here. These are the, let's say today I'll cover two things, Maven and Docker. So you see that the Maven Artifactory understand the Maven, Artifactory understand your Docker stuff. Where is the Docker? Here. Okay, understand Artifactory understand the Git LFS. Artifactory understand Go. That means you don't need to write any scripting or as such. With the inbuilt functionality, whatever you know Maven, using that you can upload the automated way in Artifactory also. So this is the integration with the DevOps tools is available. Now here, over the period of time in a shared drive, you cannot do the role-based access management. Role-based access management, that cannot be done. That means someone is having the edit access, someone is having read access, someone is having write access. Those are the things you cannot do. And though you can do that, it's very difficult to manage that. Security is a very important concerns nowadays. So package security is also is very important. Package security is one of the important fundamental for the DevSecOps. So yes, package security. Also, you have to manage the integrity of the package. Integrity means let's say one package is lying in your laptop, and over the period of time your hard disk will die, so your package will get corrupted. But when you store the packages in Artifactory and tools like that, the integrity of the package has been always maintained. Okay, now cleanup is also very easy actually. Easy cleanup. Easy cleanup means we want to clean up the some of the files with the help of the tools. We can easily do the cleanup. Access management and user management, already I talked about it. Apart from that, you can also have a backup efficiently. Backup and archival you can have efficiently when you are using this tool. Apart from that, it's a centralized for the everyone. Okay, centralized for everyone. It's a web-based utility, so it's very easy to access by everyone, no matter how many products you have, how many teams you have. So it can be one artifact who can serve you the purpose for multiple team, multiple department, multiple projects, and all stuff like that, right? So there are so many reasons for that. There are so many reasons are available. So we opt for the repo management platform for managing the packages and different kind of packages at Artifactory compared to shared drive or FTP or something like that. Okay, so is that clear for all of you? Is that clear for all of you?
Yes, more or less.
Yeah. Now let's say if you don't like Artifactory, then what you wants to go for it. So we have a Nexus from the Sonatype, or in we have a one open source tool also, Archiva. Okay, so Apache Archive. So these are the tools which we have. But apart from that, we have so many other tools also. This actually Nexus, Artifactory, Archive, these are the support is wide actually. But for other tools, let's say if you are only on a .NET, you can go for the NuGet. If you are again .NET Chocolatey, you can use it, Chocolatey. So yep. So in the case of private repository management, private hosted repository management, uh, these three are vendor. I mean, these three are leading product. One is Artifactory, one is Nexus from Sonatype, one is Archiva. Apart from that, rest of the things again depends on the some huge cases, like some technology, some language barriers are there, some platform barriers are there. Uh, for example, Yum is also repository management, but it is only working with the CentOS. Let's say Google Play Store is also repository management, but it is only for the it is only for the play Android applications. If you want to store some other applications, it will not store. So like that. But these are the repository management for the packages which support wide range of format and type. Is that clear for all of you?
Uh, can I ask one question? In the starting, you said that there is a differentiation between Artifactory as well as GitHub. So can you differentiate that where we use GitHub and why we can't use GitHub in storing the packages?
Yeah. So here, when you say GitHub, then primarily GitHub is a repository management system for Git repo. Okay, here you have only Git repo, no other repo. Where you have Artifactory, you can have a Yum repo here, you can have apt repo here, any packages. Basically, in short, here this is for the code, and here it is for the binary. Okay, so
Okay.
the algorithm which get applied for the storing the code is different, and binaries, there's no algorithm as such. So like a flat two copy, let's say if you store the one file two times, then here
Mhm.
it will be still the object will be different, and you can compare. Here you have to store the, in binary you have to store the two binaries all together, and then you can download separately. So both individuality will be maintained here. Here it's not in that. In this Git repo, that is not the case. So
Okay.
only the changes will be stored in the repo in form of object. So here you have a opt repo, maven repo, docker repo,
Mhm.
anything which I showed you here, right?
Yeah,
Here,
yeah, yeah.
all these things. Okay,
Perfect. Okay,
so
cool.
that, so now next question is, okay, what is Artifactory at a high level, and what are the kind of packages you can store here? Now, why we need it, we discuss at a high level here. No much discussion required, because just it's a waste of time. And then what are the tools we discuss, and some of the differentiate. Now next question is like how to install it. How to install it. Now guys, one thing is like, because you know that some of the basics things the moment we say in Java, so one thing we got to know, like Artifactory we can install anywhere in Java. If it is developed in Java, then it is Mac also, it can be installed, Windows also you can install, Linux also you can install. That's the one thing. And second thing we got to know, you need a JRE or Java for that. Where is this is the basic understanding. Any application which is installed in the which is developed in Java. Now but nowadays you can get up and running the software within a few seconds with the help of Docker container. So just if you want to go and run this Docker run, and then JFrog will be there, JFrog image location. Just a second. I'm not giving you right path actually, just I'm giving you idea. JFrog and Artifactory, let's say some version whatever it is, and maybe you want to expose that some to some port. So internally it is running on 8080. So here -p 8080. I'm not teaching you Docker, but uh, this is the kind of command which will help you to run the container immediately, and you can access it 8080. That's within a second you can get it, but I'll show you now manually. Okay, so now let's do one thing. Let me share with you one of the reference. In future, if you want to install through Artifactory through Docker, then you can try these commands, will definitely help you. So here Docker here, look at here. So set up Artifactory Pro professional version 6.1.0 using the Docker container. So if you want to set up using Docker, images you'll find on the hub.docker.com also, but they have one dedicated website also, and that website is bintray.io. So from there also you can download the image. This is the image name which basically you have to do. -D for daemon mode, P for port, and sorry, there's a one mistake, it's a 8081 is a port, not 8080. Okay, so 8081 is a default port, and these are the commands you can run. So you can try in the Docker, but right now I'll show you how to install Artifactory manually in a Linux. So now let's get started. So here I have one VMs already. This VMs I'm going to use it. So let's go to the download and bash. Okay, so I have a VM on AWS already. I have configured it. So here ssh-i workstation and Ubuntu at the rate of this IP address. I've just logged in it. You can use the ppk also, that's not a problem, and sudo -s. Now guys, here I need a package. So package of Artifactory. So you can go and download their package from their website, but that is like a time consuming stuff. So if you uh, download Artifactory, you have to register one website and follow the steps, and ultimately you'll be able to download. That's not a difficult thing. But I have downloaded in the past, so I must be having direct URL for it. So I'm using directly. So you see here, just get started, follow this guide here, and get to that package. Okay, but I'm going to use last session we had it, so that address immediately will get it instead of searching on their websites and all. So you know the where to get the nodes already. So old URL will help me to get the Artifactory package easily. So here all these nodes of mine, you can find it here only, and this is the Artifactory. Let's say last one August, December. Okay, and now package is somewhere. Where is that package? I'm looking for the package. I can't locate it here, maybe in here. So yeah, I'm going to use this package. I'll share with you all these commands, that's not a problem. So wget, I am installing it. Wget, sorry, it's a apt get, right? It's Ubuntu. So install wget. I think it's already there in this machine, so I know that, and it's already there. So now I'm going to download this package. Okay, this is the package opt. Go to opt and paste this command, and you see here. Okay, so command not found, that's okay. So this URL has changed actually. So I think unfortunately time saving tactics is not going to work. Okay, so no problem. So let's go and get it. So here I'm going to get for Linux. Okay, here you have a Debian package, here you have a Linux package, here RPM package, Helm package, Compose package, Docker package, Windows package, Mac package, OpenShift package. I'm going to click for the download for Linux. Okay, so let it come. Okay, you see here one package is being downloaded. I typically play a tricks, so here I'll just copy this whole URL, and I hope you are getting me. Okay, wget, paste this. This is the, oh, what is happening? I just did this. I should copy this wget, paste it. Unfortunately, it's not able to. They have changed the logic, it seems. No problem. So I don't want to touch this other versions, and user guide, I click on it. I'm just trying to check that other stuff, because that command somehow earlier it worked for me, this tactics, but it's not working. But no problem. I'm just checking if you have a command given or not. It's taking time. If you want to run the Docker one, we can get it up and running within a few seconds, but this is taking time. Shall we go ahead with the Docker itself? What do you think, guys?
Would you be showing this one after Docker?
Yeah, that's not difficult things. Actually, what doing, wget this tar file. Okay, after that, extract this tar file. Um, Extract this tar file. After that, get into the bin directory, and then start Artifactory. That's all. Nothing else need to be done. So these are the 4 steps. I'll show you this here. See here. get into this, see a bin running this file. That's all. So Java should be installed. So Java is already there in this. And this is a Java. Java is not there, so I can install Java. So for that, Java install. So Java 8, you can go for it. So it's Ubuntu, right? So apt, this one. So I'm installing Java right now. Yes, it's taking time actually. Okay, so let's do one thing. I got the alternative they have given. I did not notice. Let's try this one. Okay. Okay, so this command also will work for you. So what I'm going to do, okay, Java, let it get installed. I think we'll get it done. So this is a Debian installation. That will work for you, but I wanted to show you manually. Manually means same thing, this one. Many ways you can get installed is here. You have a Windows exe file, you get it. Next, 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 next. And RPM file here, Mac file here, Helm package here. Okay, so let's go with the Debian. So I'm going to run this command. It will be faster. In AWS, it's faster. If I do everything in my desktop, it will be very slow. So installation should be done by now of Java. Okay, so Java installation is done. You see that. Now I'll go for the Debian one. So for this, you have to run this command. Done. And here, just a second. To make this, this is the package name. And here you have to change this name. Genile. Clear the screen. Done. And finally install this. This is a repo based installations designed for Ubuntu, but manual will be much easier. Just extract, run it. Okay, so here I'm just validating. It got some error actually. Yes. So this is getting installed. And meanwhile, my package almost got installed. So I have to upload this. That's a headache. So there's a SCP command, you can use it. So let's see whichever got completed earlier.
To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option.
I'll continue that. These are the pins we have, so we enjoyed the Docker. That's the important one. Okay, so package is also installed. I can do SAP also. So let's do one thing. Parallel URL, let me open up. So okay, so Artifactory is, this one is got successfully installed so far. The version which you are installing is 7.2.1. Done. Okay, so now it's got installed. So how do you start and stop these services? This is the one. Okay, so you see a success, and if you want to start and install, this is the way you can do that. So this is the installation message. You should keep it here. I'll just copy paste here. So later on, I'll just share with you all this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to start the services. So systemctl start the services. So after starting the services, you're going to access that website at port number 8081. Okay, so that was the objective. So where is my IP address? Here. Let me get a confirmation whether it got started or not. Still starting, just wait for a second. So here, if you look at this, you have a start command, status command, and some of the important log directories are here, which you can use it and get started. Done, guys. Can we validate if it got started also or not? So this command will help me. And here you see it's running. So now how do you access it? Port IP address and port number 8081. Okay, so here 8081. And here is your Artifactory. So did I make a mistake? Yeah. See, I made a mistake actually. I installed the JFrog platform. So JFrog platform basically is like everything you have here. I should have got only to the JFrog. So I think I copied wrong URL. Did I? This is a JFrog platform. Okay, no problem. But we'll make it use that one also. It will take just a time. That's all. So we are not discussing about the JFrog platform. We are only talking about the one of their product is Artifactory, which is accessible on 8081. We'll get to know. Let it come first. Okay, so default username is admin, and password will be admin123. No, so just try a password. Yeah, so here is the URL. Mind it here, not 8082. Okay, I'll talk about that one. 8081 is the real platform. So let it come. And we have to change the password, say admin 123. What is the password? PASSWRD, PASSWRD, and 123. Wait a second. New password is, let's keep it Rajesh 123. Let me copy paste. ADMIN Rajesh $123. This is better. Next. Okay. So you have to get a license. So right now I don't have a license. So for that you can apply for the trial license. So let me try the older license. If it will work, wonderful. I have a few older license. Just a second. This should be GitHub. I'm trying the older license. If it is working, super. If it's not working, then we have to get that license. Next. See, that is not working. So verification got failed. No problem. So you'll have to get the JFrog trial license. You have to get it. So self-hosted one. Now, Rajesh, anyone would like to share your email address? Anyone would like to share the email address in the chat window? Because I don't have any email address which I can use it for this. I have consumed all this email address. Quickly. In the chat window. Guys, are you there? I'm audible. Okay, so I'm using this one. Please log in your email address. You'll get a license. So just wait for a few seconds. I'll just pause this recording.
This
Docker
conference will now
run
be recorded.
-d on 8081 -. Okay, so this command will help me to run within a second and not struggling too much for their license. Done. So OSS is okay. Now, right now I can use 8081. So I'll have to sacrifice this pro version, which I wanted to show you the demo. This is the OSS version. We have a not a multiple support, but Maven support is there, which I want to show you the demo. So let's wait for it. Okay, so this is the real Artifactory, which you will get it once installation will be successful. Here, if you'd have given that license, it will look like this only. This is OSS Mindful. There's no much difference in OSS and Pro, except that types, lots of types is which I talked about it here, will be different. So just wait for a few more seconds. Okay, so now it'll be up and running. So sorry about that. It's just website got completely changed and they have changed entire layout actually. Okay, so now next thing is how to install this. I'll document all the steps and I'll send it to you through email. Now after this, what to do? So first thing you have to understand what are the type of repository you are going to work. Type of repo you are going to store your package, going to store your packages. So here as part of this session we are going to work with a Docker, sorry, first Maven, and second one is Docker. Okay, so these are the two type of package which we are going to store with. So for that, what we are going to do, let it come. It's taking time. So now username is admin, password should be password, login. So admin password, get started, password, sorry, new password, right? So new password, I'm making it this one, mind it here, I'm making this password. Done. Now set the base URL, I'll let it be as it is right now, not setting up the base URL. Do I need it? So base URL, I'll give or should I give the DNS name? Let me give the DNS name. This is the one. So HTTP and I'm recording it next. Proxy, internet proxy, no skip. Congratulations, done. So guys, this is the Artifactory. It's OSS, by the way. You will not find much difference on OS and Pro, except the supports for multiple types are there. So any questions so far? Any questions so far? All of you? Hello? Hello? Am I audible
I have
to all
no
of you?
questions. Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay. Now next question is, guys, how once you have a site up and running, how to get started with? How to get started? So that's the question you should be asking it. So how to let's say workflow in Artifactory. Okay, so I'll put it in the step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, like that. So while doing the lab, you will not get stuck. So after that, once up and running, the site is up and running, then you'll have to create a repo. Okay, because I'm showing you the two repo type, one is Maven and one is Docker. So create a repo. Now the question is here, when you create a repo, here we have a three kind of repo. You will have to choose from it. One is like a local repo, we call it a hosted repo as well. Another one is call it a virtual repo, and we call it remote repo as well, remote repo. Okay, and third one is like a uh, group repo. Okay, group repo. So where do you get it here? Local and remote and group repo. How do you get it? So first let me do that here. So go to the here, you'll have a recording, don't worry about this. So you go to the Artifactory and no, this UI has got changed a little bit. So I think Artifactory only, and click on, sorry, here, setting button. You can see there is a view button for this. This is the complete new versions which we have. Whole UI has been changed. So here's a view button, but here you will see that all the admin options. So you have to go to the repository and here click on the repository, and you have to click and create a remote, local, remote and virtual, local, remote and group repository. So how do you create it? So right side, if you see add repository, here local repository. So now when you create a local repository, the local repository will be, it's a read and write, read and write. Now a remote repository is a read only copy of remote repo. I'll explain it to you this one. And group repo is like a collections of local and remote. Now the difference is, what is a local and remote? So let's understand in an easy way what is a remote repo, we call it here. So let's understand this way. This is the India team, okay, and this is a US team. Okay, now US team wants to upload their own packages, so they will do in their Artifactory. This is the Artifactory and this is a local repo, they will do here. Okay, now upload and download will be much easier for them. Now India team also working and uploading their own package in the local repo, okay, which is read and writable. But again, India team needs also the US packages, and US team also need an India packages. What they will do, they'll create one remote repo here. So from here automatically the packages will go and store here, and they can download from here that way. Also for this there'll be one remote repo here, automatically this package will be going and storing there, and then from here download will be there. So download will be there. So that way that here, you can download from the locally itself, but if you start downloading directly from here, too much of download bandwidth will be consumed. So that's not a good practice. So that way we can create a local repo, which is the read and write, remote repo, which is a read only copy of remote repo, and group, which is a collections of local and remote repo. Is that clear, all of you? All of you? Hello? I'm out.
I have a question about the remote and the group repo. You're saying that you can copy you can put a copy like in a different repo, the remote repo. Then when would then when would the group option come in, where you have a collection of local and remote? Is that a different option in Artifactory?
No, group means what you will do while creating the group repo, you will add a multiple local repo and multiple remote repos together. So you'll be having only one address. Let's say you have a package in the local repo, and you'll have a package in the remote. I'll put it in this way. Which one you prefer? Let's say I will ask you package 1 in the LR1, package 2. Understand that the problem here. We have in your development, you have a 10 packages for your product, external packages. So this is a package 1 in LR1. LR means local repo 1. Package 3 in remote repo 1, and like that. So typically you will have a 20-30 packages scattered, the dependencies somewhere here and there. So now these many repository you have to mention in your Maven file. So this is not a good, right? What about if I give you only one URL for it, combine one URL? So what about this? This is a group. This is a group repo actually. So when you say group repo is a collections of locals and remote repos, put it together and combine it, make it one. And the moment you call a group repo, automatically interpolations will happen to those referenced local repos. Make sense?
Yes. Does this same thing? Does this same functionality work with like Nexus? And does Nexus do the same thing?
100%, 100% same, 100% same. 100%, not even 1% changes. Nexus videos also you have in the LMS, you can check it out.
Okay.
Artifactory also is the same thing. It's 100% same.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. So guys, here you see here I have to create a local repo, remote repo, and group repo. So I have come here to create a local repo. You see that OS is only the thing problem here is rest of the thing is you find in the professional only. You see that everything got disabled. I wanted to try it out Docker, which is again where is that? Somewhere it's here, and now it's got disabled. Because of that reason I wanted to try it out Docker. I'll tell you one more thing. Artifactory is more popular than Nexus from last 1.5 years or 2 years, but let me tell you Nexus, which Nexus has everything free of cost. Yes, everything free of cost. So it's just the Artifactory problem actually. So here if you go to the Maven, here it is. I'm creating Maven. Now you have to decide when you are creating a local repo in Maven, how many kind of versions of repo you can create. Maven, any idea? We had a Maven session, right? What is the release type in Maven? Maven release type quickly, guys. All of you, version type, release type. Hello. We have a one release and second one snapshot. Don't you think so? Do you remember the Maven session? Guys, I'm not sure. Are you getting it or not? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we have a two type. I think you have to do the lab properly. So we have a two type of Maven release. One is a release version and one is snapshot. Now your skills will be tested here on the Artifactory, because I told you, remember here, if you look at this, why we need Artifactory, because you understand your DevOps tool. So integration with the DevOps tool is efficiently done. Okay, so now I'm going to create a repo. So this is I'm creating a, let's say, DevOps school, and here I'm saying this is a local repo. So local. Okay. Now here this is a Maven 2 default by defaults. Now where I'm going to select, here it is. Look at this. If you want to only store only a release version, you can say release. If you want to store the snapshot version, snapshot. Typically, you know what, we create a separate repository for the release and the snapshot. Why is that so? Because that way the cleanup will be much easier. So I created one local for the release, another local I will create a repository for the snapshot. So it's done. New version I find little slow, but nothing I can do. This is their problem. They should resolve it. So I'm creating one more local, and new version, I'm, to be honest, I'm not liking it too much. Slow and making lengthy. Lots of UI has come unnecessarily. Typically it's not for the developers actually. So snapshot. Okay, and here I will go and select snapshot only and save and done. Now I created two local repo. Now I have to create a one remote repo. Now the question is, how do we create a remote repo? We don't have any remote repo. So remember, we are using Maven, and Maven, for that we have a remote repo. Anyone has idea what remote repo I'm talking about? Anyone has idea? Anyone have idea what I'm talking about? One remote repo? No, I'm talking about the central repo. Okay, central repo. repo.maven.apache.org. That's a central repo. Central repo is your remote repo. It can work like a remote repo. Here it is. Okay, so this is my remote repo. So can we create one remote repo? So guys, I'm creating remote repo now. For Docker, it will be half.docker.com. Remote maven, and here I will name it. See here, automatically it has taken, no problem. And what is that? What I'm going to talk about it. DevOps school. Remote repo, just any name. I'm going to test also. Some remote repo you have a username and password, you have to pass it, but for this is a free and everything is accessible. So just save and exit. So guys, I created one, two local, one remote, and one group I am going to create it. So here, done. Now virtual, I'm going to create virtual is a group, sorry, not a remote. So here Maven, now DevOps school and group, and here I'm going to select which one I wanted. So of course I want everything. Save and exit. Okay, so I created 3 repo. Okay, done. So my work requirement is done. Guys, look at my screen. Step number 1, creating a repo is done. Now step number 2, what I have to do, you have to create a user and roles, all this thing you want to create it. But for time being I will manage, because we little bit lost the time in the um, installation. So I will go ahead with this user ID and password only, which has all the access. But by the way, you can create more user very easily under the security. Okay, sorry, under the identity and access here. So here you can create, it's a self-service, as many users and password you can create. You can create a groups also, you can give the permissions also. But right now I'm not talking about it. Directly I'm jumping to the step number 3. First I have to note down all the URLs for it. So let's get it. So artifacts, and look at my screen here. Which one is I created? I created local, this one. Okay, and what is the URL for it? So look at this here, URL to file. Here it is. So this is the local. I'm going to note down. Look at my screen, all of you. Okay, this is the local, and you can open up this here also. No, it's not accessible. And this is the release also. It will have no files right now. Yep. So that is the thing. This is the release, and this is a remote. Okay, and last one, which is a group. That's all. So these are the address which we have. Got it. One thing I would like to check is set me up. So set me up. Maven, release. Just a second. So
To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option.
I'll talk about this one. Just give me 2 seconds. Yeah. Okay. So that is done. All this stuff. Now, guys, step number 2, what do you have to do? Create a user and password. So this I'm using the admin user ID and password. Step number 3, what you have to do? Look at this one very carefully. Modify pom.xml in the Maven and add distribution component, distribution element. Okay, now what will be done, let me show you here. So if you remember the Maven session, let me check if I have some projects here. I am having one project of the last session here. This is the okay, so this is your project. Go to the chat project and here modify the pom.xml. Look at my screen. See here, there's no distribution elements are there. So modify pom.xml and add distribution element which contains address of repo to be deployed. Okay, so this is the stuff. Now next one, step number 4, modify setting.xml. It's a part of the maven.xml maven file, setting.xml, and add server element of accessing a repo, which is here. This is the one. Okay, and finally step number 5, which we have to run which command? Ambient deploy. That's all. This is the command you have to run to upload the packages through the Maven. So this is a Maven command. So in order to enable the Maven to do upload the packages, you have to push this, you have to modify this file here, pom.xml and setting.xml. Now what are the changes need to be made? So for that I have created one template, you can access it. So where do we get it? This I'll show you that template. By the way, you can get the template there also, but I don't want to confuse you too much. Only the things which you need it, just I'm sharing with you. So this one and this one. So where is a file? So look at my screen. In the Nexus or Artifactory, this is the distributed management component. So in the step number 3, you will add this file. Okay, this one. You have to modify this location very carefully. Okay, now earlier the Artifactory was running on 8081, but right now it's giving me, this new release is giving me DNS which is not accessible. So I'll just try with this and then later on I'll try to fix it if there is a problem. So release 1 is this one. Okay, or 81 should I try? Let me try, because still I feel like it should be 81. Sorry, 8081. Okay, we'll try a little bit later. First, let's try with this one. So I'm copying here, making it this one, and this URL you have to make it. So URL, this is a reach, and this is the snapshot. Okay, so this URL you have made it. I'll just copy this whole content. By the way, this ID, I will make it, let's say, artifact, something like that. So this ID is important in a setting.xml. I'll talk about it. So anything you just make it happen and then add inside a project element like this. Okay, so this is the step number 3. Now step number 4, you have to add access in the setting.xml. So where is the setting.xml? I'll show you that one, but before that I want to copy the entire content. So setting.xml, you have to add this line. Okay, so setting.xml, this ID, whatever you modify, artifact and username, what was that, is here. Username was admin and password is this one. Okay, so here what you are trying to do, this you will keep in the setting.xml, and this one is important. Remember, artifact and this artifact is should be matching, must be matching. Why? Because that way in the setting.xml of Maven, it will come to know for this ID, the username and password is this one. That means for this repository ID and for this repository ID, the username is this one and password is this one. So let me go and do the changes in the setting.xml. So which is inside a tools, Maven, conf, setting.xml, and server component. You have to see, I have multiple, so you have to add this one here like that. Done. So finally, guys, step number 4 I have done. Step number 3 I have done. Step number 2 I have done, which I'm using the super access, and step number 1 I have done. So did you understand that so far? Any confusion? Any confusion?
I have a question on like step 3, the one you're calling release and snapshot distribution. Are we going by the like Maven? A Maven release is that when you're doing a major like release like 1.0, and then the snapshot is like if you're going from 1.0 to 2.0, the snapshot is like 1. Like 05 and intermediate. Is that what you're like is that how you're looking at the Maven? Because when you put the for the distribution for the internal repository and the snapshot repository.
Okay, so what happens here when you say distribution management and repository and snapshot? So repository means it's a release repository, and snapshot repository is basically a snapshot repository. This is the Maven stuff. Now what Artifactory understand that? So anything which you declare in the snapshot, repository is become a release. Anything you declare in the snapshot, it'll become a snapshot. Now based on the number here in the Maven pom.xml, let's say right now it's a snapshot, so it will go logically to this location. If you remove this hyphen snapshot, it will become a release, so it will go to the this repository. It's very simple.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's that then the snapshots, because usually in like in a major release versus like a release versus snapshot is you get rid of all the snapshots before you do a release. So those are different areas. That makes sense.
Yep. Okay. So you whatever the modifications you have here right now, I'm doing snapshot, so it will go to here. It will go to here. Make sense? Okay. So finally, ambient deploy. Now, what is ambient deploy? We have explained it to you. It's a Maven command, which you know that. So let's go to chat and run this. Ambient deploy. Let's see if we get some error. I'm believing that URL might be having some error because this new version of Artifactory has forcing to set the DNS name. We'll see that if it is not giving an error, that's so superb. If it is error, I think I can visualize the the problems. Yeah. So here the compilation will be happening, then package will happen, test will happen, package will happen, and finally install will happen, and then they will try to deploy that everything in Maven, which is being done. So right now package has been created here. And installs has been completed. Now it's the deploy is happening. Deploy means always remote repository, which is in case it's a Maven. So he's trying to see here, trying to upload it, and I was doubting it. Basically trying to upload it but could not transfer it. Why? Because of, see here, 405 is like a server related issues. So the address has some problem, failed to transfer. So let me do one thing, let me play with IP address, because the DNS name is not resolving. I was doubting. So let's try IP address. Where is IP address? It should be let's try with IP address first, and here, and Artifactory, this is IP address, Artifactory list, name of the repository is a release. Okay, so I'm changing this format, and let's see if this is working, this format, because there's some changes that happen in the Artifactory side. I'm assuming this should be working. Let's try. So here the IP address, port number, Artifactory list, and this is the repository, which is a release and snapshot. Let's try this one. Everything is okay, just URL is having some confusion. I am also having confusion because that's a new release, it's not older version, and lots of changes has happened. So we'll see that if it's working or not.
I have one more question about, like you said, in deploy that it's always remote, but then like we created local, local and remote repositories. What did you mean by that?
Just a second. Yeah. So I'm just checking again, failed to deploy, same error. Here cannot access. Just a second. Just let me fix this first. So this is going correct one. Okay, so let me pause this recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Okay, wait. It's this different problem. Wait a second. The problem here is Rajesh. See here, it's a different problem this time. It's not authorized actually. Not authorized. I'm not reading the error message. Rajesh. So how do you fix it? Where is Rajesh in server element here? See here, this is the problem. So again, it's a good error we are getting. So please mind it, guys. Rajesh, this one and this one and this one should match. Else this user ID and password will not be detected. So let's try. Let's try. Deploy is happening now. Should be passing. Done. Okay, so now you see here. So finally the changes is like this. Few changes between the old and new. I must write it down and then you'll understand that. So first of all, guys, here one thing which I must tell you, if you're not having the centralized DNS server, then avoid these settings. Avoid this custom base URL. Okay, so first thing, avoid custom base URL. In this case, if you avoid it, then system IP address will be taken. That's the first thing. Second thing, older one, you have a two part. One is like web UI port and upload port. So in the old one, what we have, the port number is 80, what is that? 8081. In the new one, what we have, the new version which I showed you now, there are lots of trouble today actually because of this. Though it's very simple actually. Installation should be very simple, but they have made it very difficult to get a this one. What do you say? License. So so new one, it's web UI port is 8082 and upload port is 8081. Is that clear for everyone? Is that clear? Okay, so now move on to the next thing. So here guys, if you look at this, I will go and validate if the package has been uploaded or not. So package should be, my package is a this is the one, chat jar snapshot. So let's validate. So where do you go? Go to Artifactory, go to the package. Here you can search for it package. See here chat. But if you want to browse the package, go to the artifacts, and here click on the snapshot which is here, and com. Click on the com. You follow this one, com.developschool.com developschool.software. So com.developschool.software chat and the package name, version and the name here. Is that clear, all of you? By the way, you can snapshot, you can push multiple snapshot actually, no problem. So you right now you have a three files here. If you see that here you have a three files, right? Three files, right? So one more file I'm pushing it. Deployment. Snapshot it should be uploaded. See here, uploading happened. Now if you go here and refresh button should be somewhere. Where is that? Should be some refresh button. Okay, no problem. And probably for this new release you need a more CPU and more RAM. That's the reason it's behaving little slow.
In the deployment, like where's the upload coming from? Are you deploying the code and then uploading it back to JFrog?
Just a second, I'll tell you. I'll tell you the flow. So see here, you uploaded 2 times. See here, you uploaded 2 times, you got the 2 packages. Now this is how you do the upload. Now if you think, okay, the time has come for the release version, remove this one and one more time upload. One more time upload.
Are you uploading to Nexus or are you deploying to an environment?
Okay, I'll just tell you. I understood your question. Just I'll just tell you. Let me do that first. Uploading. Actually, I'm uploading it. I'll clarify this. I understand your confusion actually. See here. Remember here I made it this one release version 1.0 and it should be by default automatically should go to the release one. So can we check here? Here, see com, Devo School, software, chat 1.0. So now you see that 1.0. Now guys, same version if you want to upload, it will not allow. Also you need to check that repository setting. If in the repository setting you have set that replace, then probably it will allow, but typically it should not allow because by default the setting is I think it's disabled, what I can recall it. So we'll see that it should not allow because one release you cannot make it 2 times. Simple. So installing is happening, and okay, uploading is here, it got allowed. So here you see uploading got allowed in spite of the same release number. So it should not allow. But why it got allowed? Because of in the setting button in the repository here, that options you have not tracked out. Which one? Here you see here replacement, you should disable it. I mean, you should not allow for this. So see here, handler releases, some options should be here. POM, okay, that option is not found actually. Okay, so probably that, okay, let me check in the advanced. Ignore, allow content browsing, enable direct. Okay, so that option I'm not able to do that. So yeah, right now you can upload it. Okay, now the question what you are the confusion what you are getting is here ambient install and ambient deploy. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you need to understand here what happens. Maven first read the pom.xml. Okay, pom.xml.
Mhm.
Now in the pom.xml there's a two things. After the package creation there's a two things. I mean, in the pom.xml download a package.
Mhm.
Okay, download a package and upload a package.
Mhm.
This is the two things it will do, upload a package. Now understand that when it download the package, okay, understand that when you download the package, then it will use setting.xml. And which component? Mirror component. Okay, when you upload the package, it will use pom.xml default. I'm saying the behavior can be modified. I'm not talking about the custom stuff. Okay, right now when it comes for customization you can do whatever you want, but when you upload the package it refer the pom.xml and the element name is
Mhm.
this one. Okay,
Okay.
okay, now next question, next thing is what happens. Let's assume you are downloading and uploading whatever you are doing. So let's understand that when you do this maven install, what happens, they will compile the project. After that I'm not talking about all the phases which I have explained in the maven class, so you can just go through that. So you have a compile, and then we have a test, and after that we have a package, and then copy to local repo. Now local repo, this is called installation. This is called installation. So it's not like installing that package to some environment. It's not happening like that. Are you understanding me?
Yes.
So this local repo is basically .m2. See here,
Yeah.
.m2. Okay, so now let me first show you then. Let's move on. We'll move on. So here if you go to m2 directory, what was my thing? So here com.devoschool.com software.chat. So .m2 is here, repository is here, com dot DevOps school is here, software, and chat 1.0 and snapshot also. See here 1.0 and snapshot. Look at the timestamp, it's 11 today's date only. Did you see that?
Yes.
Got it? So
Yes.
what will happen? That is the flow. Now what happens when you say deploy? When you say deploy, now I was doing ambient deploy so many times, right? So what exactly, it's not deployment to the some environment, it's not. That is the confusion we have. What happens, they take from the local repo, copy from local repo to where? To remote repo. A remote repo, and remote repo mentioned in the pom.xml. Did you understand that now?
Yes.
Yeah. So here, that's the reason I told you remote repo. This is a remote repo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So everyone have understood that how to upload a package using Maven to Artifactory. All of you.
Yes.
Anyone has any questions, guys?
And then you do the download. Is there like whenever whenever the developers develop?
I'll talk about. I'll talk about it. Yeah. Download. I'll talk about it. Upload only. I have talked about it. Any other questions, guys? Hello. I don't get response, guys. So not sure you are in session or not. Only one response I'm getting. Okay. Okay, guys. So now next thing is, guys, how to download package. Understand that package using Artifactory in Maven. So I'll put it this one also in the steps, so you'll get it. Okay. So step number one. Okay. Step number one. First thing is step number one. Create a group repo which contains all the repo. Mind it here, guys. Which contains all the repo from where you are downloading a package. Simple. Downloading a package. Downloading a package. So guys, understand that here. One thing. I want to create a group repo. So did I create a group repo? Yes. You see here, I created a good group repo in front of you, but the URL will be changing. So where is that? Can we copy that group repo? Remember, group repo have all the repo. I will show you the first again. See here, this is my group repo. Oh, no. Here we have a group repo, and the name of the group repo is DevOps School-group. And then you have all the three repo. Remember, local repo is there. Look at this here. In the local repo also have, and remote repo also have. So local repo. So here, go to the front end, go to the Artifactory, go to the artifacts, and go to the group. Where is it? Here, and copy this URL. Okay. Okay, this is the, okay, one more thing here. When you said 82, it's confusing actually. So you should go always set me up and go and for configure, generate, and group repo is this one, guys. Okay, 81 only. I hope last time I said. So this is the group repo. Okay. So now this is the group repo. Now group repo, you have remember local repo also and remote repo also together. Now the question is, I created this. Now second thing is step two. Step two. Did you locate which package you want to download? So guys, I have to locate, right, which package I want to download. So guys, first thing, I will go for one remote package, and one I will go for the local package. Okay, so mind it, guys, in the last session, I hope you remember here, just a second. Here, if you look at this, do you remember mail was another product? So assume, guys, chat module is dependent on mail module. Okay, are you understanding it? chat module is dependent on mail module. So for that, I am going to modify mail module.
To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option.
And add the dependencies here. Are you understanding me or not? All of you? Okay, so here I am going to create that package. Just a second. Where is that local package? Com. Chat is dependent on the mail. So I'm going to create a dependency. How? Look at my screen. I am following that. I'm creating automatic. Though you can write all these lines are pretty straightforward, but I'll just copy because I don't want to copy paste. I mean, I don't want to write line by line. Here, where is that? The site is little slow. Huh. See guys, copy. I copy. So guys, this line I no. Huh. This line. See here. So mail version is dependent on chat version 1.0. So guys, this is my local dependency. Now what is a remote dependency? Remote dependency is JUnit. So I made a mistake here. I should keep it inside the dependencies. Okay. This is the something like this. Okay, so here you have a local dependency, here you have a remote dependency. Now in order to download that, guys, what I need to do, please understand that I'm copying this whole things together here. It's a different project. Okay, now in order to download, I have to delete because the demo will be there, right? So in order to download, in order to seeing the download activity, I have to delete that from the local. So I'll put it that step number 3, delete from the local repo, local maven repo. So where is the local maven repo? I'll go ahead and delete it. See here. Everything I'm deleting it. Chat, everything is gone. And second thing I have to delete it is JUnit. So go to repository, go to the JUnit here, and guys, I'll delete this one also, whole things. So that then only it will download, right? Remember in the Maven rule, if it is already there in the local repo, it will not download. So I did this. Why I did this? Because it will Maven will download. Maven would download from Artifactory. That is the things. Now step number 4, guys, modify, which is here I said, remember somewhere I have already here. Okay, so modify setting.xml, modify setting.xml and add mirror element with group repo. Very simple. That's all. Modify setting.xml and add mirror element with the group repo. So let me do that setting.xml. So go to the setting.xml and look for the mirror element here, and mirror element I should copy. See here. Now you have to add this one here. Done. Okay, and remember this name has to match with the server element. So server element is Rajesh. So password done. So this entry you will make it in the setting.xml, and that's all. So the question was how to download package from Artifactory. So first you create a group repo, which I did it. Then you need to have a dependency set. Then only it will download, right? Else it will not download. and then delete from the local, else the Maven will not download if it is already available in the local. And fourth, and after that do whatever you want, which is called Maven package or something, whatever it. So let me do that. So this is the mail component, cd cmd ambient package. So now download will happen from where? Artifactory. How can we validate? Let's look at the log file. Look at this. It's trying to download. Look at my screen. Some problem. Okay, this is the problem with is my mistake probably, because it's a pom.xml got corrupted. So what mistake I made it actually? This is not a wait a second. Dependency seems to be okay. Wait a second. I think I modify wrong file or what? Just a second. See. What is the problem? There is a problem in the pom.xml only. So chat I'm building and chat I'm downloading. So probably this is the correct things. So should be okay now. See, package I have it should be downloading some package. Two packages I'm downloading, JUnit and see here guys, look at my screen. They're downloading this. In fact, many other stuff will be also downloaded. I'm more curious to chat and JUnit. So let it come. And where is that? It will download many other stuff because the whole mirror I have changed, right? Earlier it was central repo, right? Now it is everything I changed. So everything will be downloaded in the artifact. See here, guys, look at my screen. Here is a JUnit, and I'm looking for the chat one. It should be downloading from still default one. It's a one-time activity, guys.
In the mirror element, is it? Are you downloading from what you made in Maven to central mirror?
Yes, it's copy of mirror group repository, the one which we just a second. I'll let it complete this one and then I'll explain. This I'll not be able to explain you properly. It will take some time. So yeah, this is the one what we do. So please understand that in order to set the artifactory for the download everything, what do you have to do? First, you have to create a group repo which include the local and central everything. Okay, remote everything. After that, you have to identify which dependencies you have it, put it up in the pom.xml. And third one, in order to see that download activity, you have this is optional by the way. You have to delete it. If it is on some other machine, then anyways it will download. And then in the step number 4, you have to modify this mirror in the setting.xml, and then fifth one, Maven package or Maven compile also, anything it will start downloading it. So it will take some time. I think 4-5 minutes it will take. But these are the steps which you do that. Any questions, guys? Now.
So you're saying that, yeah, so the fourth step is that when you modify and add the mirror element downloads everything.
Yeah, so here what is happening, I'll tell you. Mirror element basically acting like a central repo. So if you have not activated this one, then central repo is your central repo all the time. I'll put it pictorial way, then it will be more meaningful actually. So understand this. So here, first time, what happens when I run the maven command, it read the pom.xml for the dependencies, which how many dependencies I'm having it. Here, if I look at it, see, this is the one and this is the one. Now these two component, they will try to read from the local repo. If you have in the local repo, then it's okay. If you do not have in the local repo, then it will go and try in the central repo. This is a maven behavior. Are you understanding now? Okay. Now what will happen? The moment you set the mirror in a setting.xml maven, from the local repo, it will go to the mirror, and the mirror is your set with Artifactory. Are you understanding now? So this is disconnected because you set the mirror. So now the mirror element will try to download from Artifactory. From which repository? Repository? This repository. And unfortunately, the Artifactory, the group repository which you have, is one is local, which is anyways here, and another one is central. So what will happen? It's like this. First, maven will try to read pom.xml, read the dependency, try to look for the packages in the local repo. If it not found, because you are modifying the behavior of maven using this one, so now it will hit the Artifactory group repo, and here it will try to find out. In this Artifactory group repo, you have a local and remote, and now remote, which is linked to here, so which will download here to here, and from the serve to here, and then every time, next time it will use it from the local itself. Did you understand that?
Yes.
So now guys, it has done. Now I have to do one more thing, because I'll delete this one more time, okay? Because download I want to show you separately. So I delete the JUnit one more time and DevOps school one more time. Where's the DevOps com and DevOps school? Where's that? Okay, I deleted. Now you see here, it's there in the, everything is there in the local repo. Okay, so can we do this maven deploy? Oh, sorry, not this one. I have to do here package, maven package. And now only two packages will download because I clean it. It will be downloaded because I cleaned it up. See here, it's downloading the chat, and see it's downloading JUnit also, but my screen is a little slow. So yeah, now it's understood now. All of you. Okay guys, so I'll repeat that all these steps one more time. It was not a very big steps, it's small steps, but you need to understand a little bit of it. So first thing, how to set it up, that multiple methods are there to make it up and running. Now, so in order to download, in order to upload, first you have to create a repo. It was very easy, you saw me doing it. Local repo I created, remote repo I created, group repo I created. After that, creating a user ID and password. So now I'll show you that how can you create a user ID and password. So here you go to the admin setting button. Here under the identity and access, click user, and here you can give anything. Let's say deploy user. It's very simple. I don't think so you will get stuck here. Deploy email deploy@deploy.com, and do you want administrator, whatever exactly you want, password deploy 123, deploy 123, and this is how you created a user. Okay, now you will give, okay, the password has to be a little bit complicated, so I'll just copy it. So same password and save it. Now you'll have to give this user up access. So either you can add this user into the group and give the access to the group. That's up to you. Or you can directly give access to the user also. But the best practice is like add this one to the group. So I have to create a group. I'm creating one group called deploy group. Deploy group. Now you want to give add users to this group, so add it users to this group. So right now there is one group called deploy, and the one deploy user is a part of deploy group. Now I have to give access to the group now, not uh, not user individually. So here you can create a permission. So there's a two permission you have it, any remote or anything. So here I see the access is only readers group they have given. So let's do one thing. Let's create one new permission. This is a deploy permission. Okay, and here in this deploy permission you can select which repository you want that access to be given. So right now you can access any local repository, any remote repository, any distribution repository, which is another product of the JFrog, or you can select individually also, whichever you want. So you can drag also, it's up to you. It's self-service, and click OK. And finally you want to give access to the user or group. I want to give the access to the group. So that is the group. Which group? Deploy group. And okay, what access you want to give, you decide what access you want to give. I'm just blindly checking out everything. Okay, and create. Done. So now this is the way you got this user got who's a part of the deploy group. Okay, who's a part of the deploy group, he will get access to everything as you whatever you set in the permission. Is that understood, all of you? Okay, more questions, guys? Okay, so how to download the packages from the repository? So here you have to have step number 1. Remember, first create a group repo, then identify which are the dependency and embed in the pom.xml, delete from the local optional, and fourth one, modify this mirror, and fifth, package. You need to know Maven for this, else you'll not be able to do that. Any questions, all of you?
Is this the same, but let's say you don't use Maven, but you use Gradle. Is it the same thing?
In the Gradle, the flow will be little different. I mean, I'll put it in this way. I have a sample repository for that. I'll show you rather than because you have asked. I'll not be able to create a Gradle repo because that permission is a problem. I mean, licensing is a problem because in open source it will not allow. But I have a sample project I must show you here. Just a second, hold on. So more or less things will change same, but just a second. So this question is from the Gradle, right? So Gradle, Artifactory. I cannot locate it. Just a second, hold on. So this sample projects, you can refer it. This is the ready-made projects we have. So what need to be changed? So you have to change this file, gradle.properties file, and here you have to provide the Artifactory address. Okay, and whatever the versions and all you can, that's okay. This is the Artifactory user and Artifactory password, Artifactory URL. These are the 3 things you have to provide in the gradle.properties. After that, you can modify this build.gradle, and here you need to specify see here plugin. Which plugin? So this plugin. Okay, so after that you'll be able to there'll be one task, a publish task or something like that will be there, and using that you'll be able to publish it. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, see here. All this thing has been set in this. This whole projects you can use it for the Gradle. This is for the downloading. This is for the publishing, uploading. Okay. So when you run Gradle space -task, it'll tell you the one task name. I'm not able to recall right now, but that task, using that you can upload. Make sense?
Yes.
I think publish is a task.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the URL which you can refer it. Just change the user ID and password and all, everything will work. More questions, guys? By the way, Docker I wanted to show you. So Docker, I couldn't get it because licensing issues, but I have a step-by-step information which you can try it out. So let me show you Artifactory. And see here, how to set up Docker repository in Artifactory for push and pull the image. So these are the things you can do that.
In Docker, like when you just quickly when you showed like the Docker, because private registries are used a lot to push and pull packages. So
Yes, but the problem what we have in this release, I'll not be able to create repository. That's the problem.
okay.
Here, if you see, the repository, the licensing is a problem. So add repository.
Mm-hmm.
In OSS we don't have that.
Okay.
See here, but what you need to do, look at my screen here.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you have to create a Docker repo. That's one thing. After that, see, create a Docker repo. Once you create a Docker repo, after that, you have to make this insecure. If you don't have a certificates and all, this is optional. If you are using HTTPS, that's you don't need to do that. After that, you have to log in using this command. Look at this here. This is important. So Docker login, username and password, whatever for Artifactory, and this will be your user ID. This will be a place where you log in. 8081. Look at this IP address of the machine where you install the Docker, and then 8081. After that, you have to see here Docker tag that, make sure that image name is matching, and after that Docker push this one. That's all.
Yes. So in step 3 is that if you have secured registries, you'd have to create like certificates and things.
Yes. So if you have a Artifactory with the Artifactory, and if you have a certificates, Docker by default push to the HTTPS. Remember, it's a for the Docker. Docker by default push to the HTTPS registry.
Right.
But in order to make the Docker insecure, HTTPS supported, you have to add this line in the JSON file. The whole instruction you have it here.
Yeah. So, but in the local like repository, is that Docker in a dot? Just in .docker, would you change to like the config.json there?
In a Docker, you have to change. Not Docker means you're the place from where you are pushing the image. That place you have to change. This changes the one which you are making, not related to Artifactory. It's related to the place from where you are running this command, Docker push.
Okay, so
See here, when you push, let me put it up in this way. When you push, where is my, here it is. So when you say Docker push, so you must be doing from the some machine, right?
Yes.
Let it come. Hold on, my screen got stuck. So when you whenever you develop an image, from there you push it. So the moment you push it, it automatically push to the HTTPS this address.
Okay.
But right now but if you don't have a certificate, it's not running on HTTPS, it's running on HTTP. Right?
Right.
So in that case, you have to go to the file, that Docker configuration file, and you have to add the IP address and port number, so it'll become insecure.
Right.
and after that you'll be able to push it. After that you'll be able to log in and push it. Now what is a repository key? Repository key, image name and tag, all these things together will become your repository. So here a repository key, when you create a repository, whatever the repo name you will be having it, that will be become a repository key. For example, here do you have any examples? I wish whenever you create a repo, they will ask you the name. That name will become a repository key.
Okay.
And the name of the image, you'll be kept it in your the place where you are making the images. So remember, you have to match this structure. What is this structure? This is important. This line is very important. Most of the people make a mistake here only. So what is happening here? Whatever the repository key you will create it in the step number 2. Okay, you remember that. After that, whatever the image name, you have to tag it. So your image name must be in this format. This is the IP address of your Artifactory. This is the port number of your Artifactory. This is the repository name of your Artifactory. This will be image name, and this you can ignore it if it is a latest. If you have a specific one, then you can give it. The whole name of the image, it should match in this format. So you are going to tag that your current image to this, rename it to this one using the tag command, and after that you are pushing this image itself. The whole image repo name, it should be matching in this format.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, I got it.
More questions, guys? Okay, so there's one question from the Asmita Jas. Can I push same image tag again and again? What will happen if I don't change the tag? See here, it's like this. If you don't change the tag, your if you don't change the tag, then basically it will push that for sure, but your last object will not be linked to the latest one. Your new object will be linked to the latest one. So that way you'll have to see that if it is having no version. So let's say if you push something, let's look at the hub.docker.com. so hub.docker.com and SCM Galaxy. I'm looking for mine repo. So then that versioning will be lost. So latest tab, you will get it transferred to the last layer of the Docker image. But the question which I'm having in my mind also, what will happen to those older version? So I think older versions will be losing the tag and will be called something else. Something like this. Look at it. So something like that, you'll not get a tag of latest, but you'll get a some which is with a no tag, something like that. Make sense? So you should not push that. You should always use the v1, v2, v3, v4 latest or something like that. More questions, guys?
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.